Hi, this is Lydia Bandara. Welcome to my channel and welcome to Grand Old Academy. This is a suggestion from one of our subscribers that told me that it is a satirical dating sim. From what I saw, it seems to be that you're sort of trying to date presidential candidates or something. So let's try this. So, Grand Old Academy, the most prestigious private boarding school in the United States. Rich with history and tradition, the alma mater of hundreds of the world's most powerful men and women. The type of school that no student could even dream of enrolling in unless they had incredible amounts of talent, connection, or money. Preferably all three. The grandest, the oldest. Grand Old Academy. My new school. That will be 28 even. What? You're fair. You owe me $28. Oh, right. Sorry. The taxi driver's words snapped me back into reality. I was standing in front of the main gate of Grand Old Academy, gazing for the first time upon what was going to be my new home. I looked through my pocketbook as the cab driver retrieved my two suitcases and set them down on the curb beside me. He slammed the trunk of the cab shut, the loud metallic thunk making me jump. I took an embarrassingly long time to count out $28. I took an embarrassingly long time to count out $28 from the wad of unfamiliar currency in my hands. Finally, I had the proper amount, and I handed it to him with a relieved smile. The driver took the bills, looked them over, and stuffed them in his pocket. I picked up my suitcases and took a deep breath. This was it, the crucial moment, the start of... I glanced over at the driver, who was still standing on the curb beside me, looking at me expectantly. My mind began to race. What did he need? Had I done something wrong? Was I forgetting? Oh, a tip! I need to tip you! Well, if you insist. I opened my pocketbook again and began scrambling through. I was so overwhelmed with embarrassment that it took me 3 tries just to get my money out, my clumsy numb fingers betraying me. I'm so sorry, I'm from Japan and we not tip there. It's considered rude, actually. I just got off the plane this morning. This is my very first time being in the United States, or anywhere outside of Japan, for that matter. I wasn't even paying attention to what I was saying. My mouth was just acting on its own, replacing the awkward silence with equally awkward chatter. I frantically tried to pick up a $5 bill, but all the bills looked the same to me. Scowling green faces of men I didn't recognize looked up at me, disapproving, judgmental. If you can't even figure this out, how are you going to survive at the academy? They seemed to silently ask me with their stern frowns. At last, I found a bill that had a 5 on it. I quickly handed it to the cab driver, glad to be free of the gaze of the angry burdened man on it. The driver seemed a bit taken back. Well, thank you very much, Mitch, and welcome to America. He quickly got back into his cab and drove up. I was suddenly struck with a pang of uncertainty. Was that a 5 I just gave him, or was that a 50? I had the feeling it was going to be a long semester. So this game is actually a demo. It's not the full game. So my guess is it's going to be more complete, of course, once it will be done being founded. I will leave the link in the description, of course. Chapter 1, Welcome to the Party. I somehow gathered up enough courage to walk through the gate. I emerged into an immaculately manicured quad, crisscrossed with busy sidewalk. I had seen pictures of the campus while I was applying, but I still felt a bit overwhelmed. It was so much bigger than expected. Dozens of students walked by, straying purposefully, some strolling casually and talking with friends, some dawdling and enjoying the pleasant weather. None of them seemed to take notice of me, which was just fine by me. I was holding one suitcase on each end, clutching the handle so hard that my knuckles were turning white. I felt as if these bags, the only familiar objects in this strange place, were all that was tethering me to the earth. I was afraid that if I let them go, I'd float away. Maybe across the ocean back to Japan, or maybe off the face of the planet altogether. Hey, over there! I was snapped out of my reverie by a cheerful, high-pitched voice. I turned my head and saw a short blonde girl with perfect coiffed hair waving at me. Uh, hello? She ran over me and beamed. You must be the new transfer student, right? Uh, mm, yes. How'd you know? Well, your luggage was my first clue. Ah, right. The girl jiggled and held out her hand. My name's Megan Kelly. I'm going to be your roommate for the rest of this year. I reluctantly set down my bags to shake her hand. And would you look at that? I didn't float away after all. I'm Murray America. I suppose you already knew that. It's nice to meet you. Megan smiled and clapped her hands together. We're going to have so much fun. I skipped that one. Okay. Come on, Maury, let's get you to your room. I'll help you with your bags. Thank you. I fought back the urge to bow, reminding myself that I was in the United States now. I handed Megan the smaller of my suitcases and we began walking through the quad. Maury is my family name, by the way. You can call me by my given name, America. Oh, that's right. Japanese is one of those backward names language. That makes more sense, actually. When I first read the email about getting a new roommate, I remember thinking that America was a weird last name, especially for a Japanese person. Not that it's exactly a common first name either, I suppose. Megan led me past an imposing brick academy buildings, exceptionally tended lawns and spacious courtyards. Grand Old Academy certainly was grand. And that building over there, oh God, you. Donald Trump, okay. Coming through. Ugh, how rude. Who was that? That's Donald, the biggest jerk in the old academy. He only transferred in at the beginning of the year, but he already acts like he owned the place. I noticed that Megan had clenched her free hand into a tight fist. And the worst part is, his acting is working. He's one of the most popular kids in the debate club, even though all he does is insult his opponents. Well, sounds familiar. Megan's face was flushed, and she was breathing more heavily than was warranted by the stroll across the quad. She obviously harbored a strong feeling for Donald's. Eventually, Megan shook off her anger and returned to her cheerful baseline. Nearly all the students we passed waved at Megan or shouted happy greetings to her, and she responded to all of them in kind. So why did your parent name you America anyway? Did they always expect that you'd end up in this country someday? That's actually just a coincidence. In Japanese, America phonetically means delicate flower. Oh, neat! I guess. There was a moment of silence. I wondered if I should say something to break it. Ask Megan about herself. So, what are you studying here at the academy? Political science and law. I'm not sure what I want to do after I graduate, but I'll probably be in one of those fields. Most high schools in the United States don't offer classes in law. Just another reason why Grand Old Academy is so special. Sorry about that. Okay. Plus the fact that it's a boarding school and it has only 3 grade levels. Is that not normal? All high school in Japan have 3 grades. The United States, regular high schools have 4. Huh? That seems so strange to me. What are schools like in Japan? No, that's what's everything like in Japan. I want you to tell me all about it. Megan's face looks so eager. Oh geez, yeah, she looks eager. I didn't know how I could possibly tell her everything I knew about my own country, but her answers just make me want to try. I'll do my best. And of course, I'll answer any question you have about the United States. Sounds like a good deal. Megan continued her tour, her energy and enthusiasm showing no sign of waning. That's Keystone Dorm, and that's Independence Hall Academic building behind it. Over there are Green Mountain Dorm and Granite Dorm. There sure are a lot of dorms. Yeah, there's 50 of them. 50? Well, most of them are pretty small. Equality Dorm only houses about 20 students, for example, but the biggest ones, like Golden Dorm, have over 1,000. Wow! We'll be living in the Sunshine Dorm, which is the 3rd largest and furthest south on campus. Well, Aloha Dorm is technically furthest south, but it's not part of the continuous 48 dorms, so it barely counts. This dorm system sounded like it would be hard to get the hang of. Speaking of Sunshine Dorm, here we are. Megan pointed an imposing L-shaped brick building that was accented with white column and pink stucco. The nervousness that I felt earlier was beginning to return. What if I didn't like my room? What if I couldn't find my classes? What if... Marco, Jeb, hey guys! I was snapped out of my panic by Megan's cheerful shout, and my nerves settled back down. I followed Megan's gaze and saw 2 students dressing in fencing gear sparring in front of on the front lawn of the dorm. The taller of the 2 lowered his foil to wave at Megan. Seizing his chance, the shorter student darted and landed a blow in the center of his opponent's chest with his foil. Eat! Oh, nice one. The shorter student removed his mask, grabbed a bottle of water off the grass, and took a swig. Well, in a word, he was gorgeous. He had beautiful brown eyes, delicate lips, and heart-stopping cheekbones. Somehow, his hair was perfectly styled, even after being under his fencing mask. His brow was shining with sweat and the afternoon sunlight. And in the afternoon sunlight, it looked almost as if he was sparkling. That was a dirty trick, Marco. No, he saw an opportunity, and he took it, just like I taught him. As he said this, he took off his mask too. Like Marco, he had brown eyes, but instead of sultriness, the student's eyes exuded warmth. He looks older as well. He wasn't exactly handsome, but his face had certain of an awkward charm to it, and reminded me of a puppy. He was sweating a bit more than Marco, but instead of making him sparkle, it just mated his hair to his forehead. You're the best mentor a guy could ask for, Jeb. And you're the best student. They high-fived. Sunshine Bros. And just how long is that attitude gonna last once you start debating against each other? Megan's comment was playful, and the boys chuckled. We've agreed that we're not going to attack each other, no matter how intense debates get. Jeb knows I've got his back, and I know he's got mine. Yeah, I high-fived again. And who's this lovely lady accompanying you? Megan? I felt blood rushing to my face as soon as I heard Marco calling me lovely. And good Lord, that smile. Geez, he's sparkling. I tried to formulate a response, but I couldn't piece together any words. Luckily, Megan came to my rescue. This is Mari America. She's my new roommate. Oh, of course. It's nice to see you, Miss America. Pleasure. Shall I give you a tour of... I've got it covered for now, Jeb. Let's not overwhelm America on our first day. Right. I'm sure we'll talk to you soon, America. The two of them redonned their masks, picked up their foil, and resumed fencing stances. Megan led me to the front door of the dorm. These seem nice. Jeb and Marco, right? Yep, those two are inseparable. They're both on the fencing team, both on the debate club, and they're the chorus of Sunshine Dorm. Marco's only a first year, but Jeb pulled some strings to get him in the position. Megan held the door open for me, but I stopped dead in my track before entering. Wait, they're the owners of this dorm? Yeah, what's wrong? But they're boys. Yeah? The dorms co-ed? Yeah, all the dorms at the academy are. Is that a problem? My head swam. Back in Japan, I would have never imagined living in a co-ed dorm. Relax, it's not a big deal. Each floor is still divided by gender. Girls on odd floor, boys on even floor. That made me feel a little bit better, but still. I never had so much as held hands with the boys back home, and now I'd be living in the same building as them. I noticed Megan was looking at me with concern, so I tried my best to play it cool. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Not a big deal. Not gonna stress about it. Trust me, America, you'll have a great time living here. She patted my shoulder with her free hand, looked into my eyes, and smiled. I felt encouraged, assuaged, accepted. I took my first step into Sunshine Dorm. The coolness of the ice-sealed hallway was a welcome relief from the surprisingly warm February afternoon outside. Megan led me up 2 flights of stairs, and a bit further down the hallway she stopped and pointed at one of the doors. This is it? The plain wooden door was adorned with a simple dry erase whiteboard that's with Megan Kelly and Maury America written on it in neat block letters. Now my guess is that there's probably a background missing here. I hope, because a black background is odd. But anyway, Megan pulled an eagle-shaped keychain out of her pocket and unlocked the door. As an afterthought, she took one of the other keys out of the ring and tossed it to me. Here's a key. Don't lose it. I nodded and slipped the key into my pocket, making a mental note to get a keychain of my own soon. I followed Megan into our room. No, I corrected myself. Not our room. Our room. The room itself was fairly ordinary and divided roughly in half by the furniture placement. It was immediately clear that the right-hand side of the room was Megan's, since it was the only half that looked living. I was a bit surprised to see how low-key Megan's side looked. Going off what I had seen so far, her bubbly personality combined with the expectations I had of the American movies that I seen, I expected to be greeted by an explosion of pink pillows, strings of Christmas lights, and glitter everywhere. Instead, I saw the car that was businesslike, bordering on austere. Her neatly made bedspread was a subtle muted maroon. Her desk was organized without a single pen or piece of paper out of place. She did have a couple of stuffed animals on her bed, but they somehow seemed to be sitting with the posture of dignified businessmen there for meeting rather than floppy friends. And instead of posters for bands and movies on the walls, there were only a few tastefully framed pictures of landscapes. The single obsession was a pin-up style photo taped to the front of one of the wardrobes, depicting a hunky boy lifting weights. That's what they call a hunky boy? I looked at Megan questioningly and she blushed. Oh, that's... Once you meet Paul Ryan and see him for yourself, you'll understand. As plain as Megan's side of the room was, my side was even plainer. A little depressing, actually, with those empty walls and that bare desk. Megan seemed to be on the same page. Don't worry, we'll liven up your half of the room soon. Did you have space to pack any decoration? Oh, it would be cool to have some Japanese posters and paper lanterns and stuff here. No, I didn't bring anything like that. That's okay, we'll figure something out. It's going to be your home for the next 6 months, after all. It's important to make it feel like a home. Megan heaved my suitcase onto my bed and then walked over to the window and threw the curtains open. The sunlight that streamed in made everything instantly look more cheerful. The view was lovely. Right below us was the lush green front lawn of Sunshine Dorm, where Jeb and Marco were still sparring. Off in the distance, I could see the elegant neo-colonial building that Megan had identified earlier as Peach Dorm. And further beyond that stretched the rest of the campus, both intimidating and exciting in its unexplored vastness. I felt as if it was my manifest destiny to leave my mark on it. The next few hours passed rather uneventfully. I unpacked, I put away my belongings, while Megan chatted more about the academy, filling me on these school's policies, what's best food at the dining hall, which teachers to avoid, that sort of thing. After unpacking and taking a much-needed shower, it was already past 7 in the evening. Megan whisked me away to the dining hall and we squeezed in right before it closed. As we ate, jet lag started to hit me hard. Megan was understanding. She didn't insist on engaging me in conversation, and I was happy to just enjoy a hot meal and friendly silence. As soon as we got back to our room after dinner, I flopped onto the bed, ready to fall asleep for the next 15 or 20 hours. But before I could even fully shut my eyes... What are you doing? You can't go to sleep now, America. Tonight's the first debate of the year. I absolutely won't let you miss something this important. Debate? Who's debating what? Oh my gosh, did I seriously forget to tell you about the debate club? You mentioned it a few times, but that's all. Why is it such a big deal? Oh, it's only the most important, prestigious, competitive, demanding club in the entire school. Pretty much every student dreams of being in the club someday. And if you're lucky and talented enough to get in, you're basically Grand Old Academy royalty. During the second semester of every school year, the club picks out the best of the best from their ranks to have a series of public debates that will showcase their talent to the whole school. And then the students vote to single out the best debater in the entire school. Winning the debate tournament is the highest honor you can achieve at Grand Old Academy. Well, second highest. See, each year's winner goes on to compete with inter-school debates. If you win those two and defeat the champion from our rival school, them high, well, you go down in history. Yeah, that's nice. Just reading a Yelp and Beyond, jeez. Okay. I was starting to doze off despite Megan's impassioned soliloquy when she noticed she grabbed me by the shoulder and shook me awake. Seeing the frenzied manic enthusiasm in her eyes was enough to banish my drowsiness, for the time being, at least. Okay, I'll come with you to watch the debate. You won't regret it, America, I promise. I actually was starting to get excited despite myself. For my impression of her so far, it seemed to me that Megan was prone to exaggeration and over-enthusiasm, but something about her tone voice told me that this time the hype was warranted. I somehow mustered up the mental and emotional strength needed to roll out of my comfortable bed and follow Megan out of the dorm. I was starting to get the impression that getting dragged around campus by Megan would be a recurring theme in my life over the next few months. As we walked across campus, we were joined by more and more students, all heading toward the same location. I felt like several of them were staring at me, but maybe it was only in my mind. The swarm of foot traffic owned in on a dorm building near the center of the campus. There we are, Alki dorm. Wow, it's pretty big. How many students live here? Not all that many, actually. About half the space in this building is devoted to an auditorium built specifically for this first debate. Wait, really? Megan nodded and kept heading forward. The debate club really must be a huge deal if the very architecture of the academy was designed to accommodate it. We filled the auditorium with the rest of the crowd. The room was enormous, with rows upon rows of seats. The stage was empty except for some unoccupied podiums placed evenly across it. By the time we arrived, the auditorium was already packed with students, row and row of them, like a field of corn. The moon was excited, anticipatory, almost giddy. It felt more like we were waiting for a sporting event than a debate. I was expecting Megan to return to her usual chatty self, as this seemed to be the kind of atmosphere in which she thrived, a social butterfly in a field of decorative flowers, each one ready to be pollinated with gossip. But instead, Megan was silent, leaning forward with her chin in her hands and her elbow on her knees, focused completely on the empty stage. I quickly counted the podiums that had been set up for the debaters. 17? Could that be right? How could a debate between 17 people even work? The girl sitting to my right nudged me. Do you have your voting slip? Huh? I grabbed some extra. Here, take one. She presented me with a sheet of paper filled with names, each with a checkbox next to it. Glancing it over, I recognized the name of Jeb, Marco, and Donald, but the rest were foreign to me. Wow, look at all these people. What kind of name is Rand? Are Carly and Lindsay the only girl? Megan made a non-committal sound in response. At the top of the paper, there were instructions in large, bold font. Vote for no more than 9 winners. 9 winners? I thought the point was to pick one champion. Oh, that doesn't happen until the final debate in July. These are the primary debate. July? That's months away. I know. Isn't it great? Megan's eyes were gleaming with the same frenzied spark again, and there was a broad smile plastered on her face. The drama, the excitement, the tension, for 6 months straight. I look forward to it every year. And this year, I was lucky enough to be chosen to moderate some of the debate. Well, not just lucky, I worked my butt off to earn the position. I'm so excited. It's gonna be incredible. I'm sure you'll get into the spirit too once you see them in action tonight, America. I forced a smile and nodded at Megan's gaze as gaze snapped back into the stage once more, but internally I had some reservations. Was Megan going to keep up with the same level of obsession with the debates for the entire upcoming 6 months? It seems like it would get exhausting quickly. But I told myself to keep an open mind. Who knew? Maybe really would get sucked into the hype myself. Only one way to find out would be to watch tonight's show. Soon the lights in the auditorium began to dim. Students quickly found seats and hushed each other, all of them focused on the stage. After a few moments of anticipation, a student walked out onto the stage and greeted the audience. That's Chris Wallace. He got chosen to host this initial debate. Lucky sub. I couldn't tell whether Megan had meant that comment as a joke or not. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first Grand Old Academy debate of the 2016 primaries. The crowd went wild, applauding and cheering. After allowing the hubbub to ebb, the announcer continued. I will be your moderator this evening as we get to know the 17 students who represent the cream of the debate club's crop. By the end of tonight, we will determine which 9 will move to the next debate, held in historic Granite Dorm in exactly 1 month. And now, without further ado, please put your hands together to welcome tonight's debaters. One by one, students walked into the stage and took their place at the podium as their name were called in alphabetical order. Each one was greeted with earthly applause and cheers as soon as they entered. From Sunshine Dorm, Jeb Bush. I recognize the tall third year with the endearing grin from earlier in the day. He stumbled as he nearly tripped over a cable on his way to the podium, but caught himself in time to avoid catastrophe. From Old Line Dorm, Ben Carson. A student with warm eyes and a calm aura entered and took the podium next to Jeff's. From Garden Dorm, Chris Christie. A rotund student beamed and waved at the crowd with both hands as it took his spot. From Lone Star, Ted Cruz. He was smiling as he walked to the stage, but the smile looked desperate, plaintive, anguished. From Golden Dorm, Carly Fiorina. The stretched-out smile that slashed across the student's face seemed to be causing her physical pain rather than the emotional pain of Ted's smile. From Old Dominion Dorm, Jim Gilmore. I had absolutely nothing to say about Jim Gilmore. Couldn't imagine that anyone else would either. From Palmetto Dorm, Lindsay Graham. Not a girl after all. Whoops. From Natural Dorm, Mike Huckabee. The student came across as friendly enough, but he seemed tired, as if he knew in his heart that his best chance of winning had already come and gone. From Pelican Dorm, Bobby Jindal. Was it possible to be too earnest? From the look on the student's face, it seemed so. From Buckeye Dorm, John Cashish. It was almost astounding how little of an impression the student made on me. From Empire Dorm, George Pataki. Somehow this debater made even less of an impression on me than the former one. From Bluegrass Dorm, Rand Paul. A short boy twisted his thin lips into what almost passed for a smile as he came onto the stage. but despite his lack of natural grace, I sensed passion in his eyes. But from Lone Star Dorm, Rick Perry. In sharp contrast to Rand, the student immediately struck me as natural people pleaser. He waved and ate up the crowd's enthusiasm as he took his place. From Sunshine Dorm, Marco Rubio. As Marco came onto the stage, the applause was punctuated with whistles of approval, shrill squeals, and a few cries of "We love you, Marco!" From Keystone Dorm, Rick Santorum. For some reason, hearing this candidate's last name made me instantly think of something distasteful, but otherwise there was nothing at all special about it. From Empire, of course. Empire Dorm, Donald J. Trump. Oh gosh. The volume of the crowd instantly kicked up by a few decibels. A few students even stood to applaud as Donald came onto the stage, nodding in acknowledgement and smirking smugly as if he knew that he deserved this fanfare. And finally, from Badger Dorm, Scott Walker. After the swell of enthusiasm for Donald, the interest of a gangly student came across as anticlimax. He took his place at the final podium to the accompaniment of a polite smattering of applause. Ladies and gentlemen of Grand Old Academy, your debaters. One final spurt of applause rose quickly and died as the members of the audience settled in full of anticipation. And here we go. I tried to pay attention to the debate, I really did, but the combination of jet lag and anxiety about my upcoming classes made it impossible. All of the students' arguments blurred together in my head, and by the time the debate had ended, I couldn't even remember a tenth of what anyone said. I think I may have fallen asleep for a while, which was not miraculous given that there were 17 voices all clamoring over each other, desperate to be heard. I was snapped back into the world of the waking by a particular sustained and passionate bout of applause. And one more time, let's hearing for our debaters. What a lively start to this year's competition. Remember to drop off your ballots at the door as you leave the auditorium. We'll tally them up and announce the results as soon as we can, so feel free to stick around in the lobby until then. All around me, students were standing up, stretching, and chatting with the neighbors. I turned to look at Megan and saw that she had abandoned the air of austere focus that she had been cultivating for the past few hours and had returned to her regular bubbly self. So what did you think, America? Was it great as I told her it would be, or what? Honestly, I dozed off. Megan looked heartbroken for a second, but she quickly regained her composure. That's only to be expected, I guess. I shouldn't have forced you to come here when you were so tired. Yeah, exactly. No, it's fine, really. I'm glad I came, and I swear I'll pay attention to every word next time. So you're gonna come to the next one? There was a gleam in her eyes, and I couldn't help but smile at it. Definitely. I suddenly remembered the piece of paper that I still held in my hand. I probably shouldn't vote since I fell asleep, right? Megan shrugged. I noticed that she wasn't holding a ballot of her own. Aren't you voting, Megan? Nah. But you were so excited about this, and you were paying such attention. If anyone has a say in who moves on, it should be you. Since I'm going to be moderating some of the debates later, I feel like I have an obligation to be neutral, but... Her eyes gleamed mischievously. I think it would be fine if I gave you advice on who you should vote, right? I guess so. So who? Bush, Rubio, Graham, Chrissy, Jindal, Cabby, Centurion, Walker, Paul. I don't see a Trump there. She rattled off the name quickly after a single rapid-fire sequence. I checked off the boxes next to those names as quickly as I could. Megan looked my ballot over and nodded in approval. Good choices, America. Are you sure I shouldn't vote for Trump? Oh god, never do. Don't vote for Trump. I said it playfully, but I saw a brief flash of sincere anger across Megan's face. Not even joke about that. It would be an utter disgrace if that oaf is still in the running after tonight. So sorry. I didn't know that you felt that strongly. I won't joke about it again, I promise. I winced, hoping that she hadn't irrevocably ruined things with Megan. That I hadn't. But her expression instantly melted into one of concern as she clasped my hands in hers apologetically. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lash out like that, America. You didn't do anything wrong, believe me. But seriously, don't vote for him. Got it. Megan smiled at me and joined the crowd filling out the auditorium. I followed her, relieved that things were still fine between us. I was also more than a little curious about why Megan hated Donald so much. I knew that this was the wrong time to ask her about it, though. Once we made it to the lobby, Chris Wallace spotted Megan from the other side of the room and waved her over. Megan nodded at him, then turned to me. I'm gonna stay here and wait for the results, okay? You think you can make it back to our dorm from here? Sure, definitely. I fought back my anxiety and forced a smile. I knew how much this night meant to Megan, and even though I was a bit nervous, I wanted her to have this. Plus, I wanted to prove her and to myself that I wasn't helpless. I was instantly rewarded when Megan beamed right at me. Thanks, America, you're the best. I'll try not to wake you when I come back. Megan made her way over to Chris Wallace and began animatedly discussing the night's event. I took a deep breath and headed out of Hawkeye Dorm into the night. I was pretty sure how to get back to Sunshine Dorm. I just hoped that pretty sure would be enough. It wasn't. I got hopelessly lost within minutes, finding myself among completely unfamiliar buildings. My heart began to race, and I felt myself getting dizzy, overwhelmed with anxiety and fear. I should have known better than to think I was ready to fend for myself in this new school, in this new country. Are you okay? I couldn't help but jump when I heard an unfamiliar voice behind me. I turned around to find a doughy, cherubic face looking at me with concern. Yes, I'm fine. Except no, I'm not. I'm lost. Where are you going? I know this campus backward and forwards. I can help you get there, wherever it is. Sunshine Dorm? Oh, well then you're in luck. I'm heading to Peach Dorm right next door. Just follow me. He took a right turn and led me down a well-lit sidewalk. Thank you, Newt. What? A newt? Where? I glanced around near my feet. Why would there be a newt in a dry climate like this? And why would this kind boy point it out to me? Was this an American cultural thing? That's my name. Newt Gingrish? I guess. Gingrish. Oh, I see. What a bizarre name. You're probably thinking that's a bizarre name, right? No, of course not. That would be incredibly rude. Don't worry. It's fine. It's a weird name, I know. Newt turned back to me and shrugged awkwardly. I couldn't help but giggle. I'm Murray America. I'm a transfer student. I just got here today. You can call me America. It's not a name as unique as Newt, but it's up there. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, America. We walked in silence for a while. Eventually, I started to see buildings that I recognized. I let out a sigh of relief. Everyone at Grand Old Academy was as kind as Newt. I definitely enjoy my time here. Were you at the debate tonight? Yes, actually. It seems like most of the school was. You're not wrong. All of us are kind of obsessed with the debate club. I actually was on that stage myself last year, but he trailed off and stopped walking for a moment. I just wasn't good enough, and that's that. No point being bitter. Did you try to get on that stage again this year? Right, sorry, that's kind of personal question. You don't have to answer it. It's fine. And no, I didn't. I'm a third year now, which means I'm graduating at the end of the year. Debates are a young student's game. That's what I tell myself, at least. I might be just cheering on the other from the sidelines, really. I mean, if someone were to ask me to coach them a bit, I wouldn't refuse, but I'm not gonna go seeking it out. Ah, here we are. Sunshine Dorm. I had been so engaged in the conversation that I hadn't even noticed we'd arrived. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Newt. I reflexively bowed toward him, then instantly felt like an idiot. But to my relief, Newt didn't laugh at me, or even look at me strangely, just nodded back at me, turned around, and headed toward Peach Dorm. I made my way to my room and somehow managed to get the key into the lock before I fell asleep, right there in the hallway. Now that the adrenaline was, well, from getting lost or wearing off, I was ready to crash hard. Good night, Grand Old Academy. I stumbled to the door, kicked my shoes off, flopped onto the bed, and I was asleep within seconds. I dreamt of a man on the money that had intimidated me earlier that day. All of them stood in a circle around me, towering over me. Their skin had a sickening green pallor, made me nauseous just to look at them. They were all yelling at each other, pointing accusing fingers, stamping their feet in anger. I cowered under them and covered my head as they got more and more angry, their voices raising, their hands turning into fists. Just before they came to blows, I woke up with a gasp, and I'm gonna leave it here for now. So, up. There you go. I'm gonna leave this game for now, and I'm gonna make another video for another game. Meanwhile, thank you for watching. If you have any comments, suggestions, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I apologize for hesitating with my words today. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Ciao!